Hi, I'm not sure how I'm going to edit this video later, but I thought I'd go ahead and start talking again about what I was talking about earlier. Anyway, this is where we're messing up. The Me Too is going to backfire significantly because of the actions that are being taken now. And I'm calling it the people, the politicians that are going to make it into the midterms or to the presidential races and whatever from now on are going to either be minorities or they're going to be women. And if you really want the double hitter, you're going to have a woman minority. Because anybody who questions them and questions any of their policies, they're going to be deemed a chauvinist or a racist. And if you're a chauvinist and a racist, you're really in trouble. So you can't be critical whatsoever. And the reason why, what made me think about this is that Jimmy Dore had posted a critique of Kamala Harris, saying that, she wasn't a true progressive because back in the day she voted for Hillary, and he played a clip about her voting for Hillary. And in my opinion, it was pretty damning. But anyway, when I was reading the comments, and that's what everyone was saying. Oh my gosh, look at him. He's being so misogynist, and he's being a misogynist, and look at him already going in on with the race. Who knew he was so racist? And I thought, so now Jimmy Dore has to be careful with what he says because people are going to, whatever. And that's not, if you want to be, an equal and seen as an equal, then you have to be expected to be criticized like anybody else is an equal. Equals, fair is fair. If you want, you're going to run a certain position and you're going to base it on being a woman or whatever, and you're saying, oh, look, we're going to have equal rights. Well, guess what? If you're doing something that you shouldn't be doing, is something that's questionable, and you're taking money from big donors and pushing things that aren't necessarily for the people, your constituents, then you're going to have problems. And if you think that people are going to be cowards enough to be scared to say something to you because they're worried about you calling them a racist and everybody attacking them for being, whatever, then people probably aren't going to want to vote for you for that reason. Yeah, you might have some people who are like, yes, we finally have our person speaking for us in office or whatever, but they're not going to want to vote for you. And as far as the Me Too, you're making Mike Pence look really good right about now because he's not, you can't, people can say whatever. If you're going to go back to 40 years or 30 plus years about what people did when they were teenagers at the age of 17, you're going to be in a lot of trouble because we as a human race, we make mistakes. We're not known for being perfect. We are, we're not infallible. We make mistakes. And people are supposed to use their mistakes as things to learn from and to grow. And if you're going to hold people accountable for things that they did 30 years ago, it's not good. You have to be able to understand that you should treat others the way that you want to be treated. So if you're okay with somebody digging up into your past and finding out about what you're doing and all the mistakes that you made, you're okay with that, and everything that you do, even at home now and in whatever time at your house, let's say your neighbor sees something, you're okay with people like policing you constantly and digging into your history to judge you on whether or not you're competent for your job. That's a concern. We need to be able to separate our home lives, our past, and not let people judge us based on our history as to how we're doing our job. If you work at a movie theater and you sell popcorn, and yes, you did something way back when you were 17, and no, you did not get arrested for it. No, you were never, convicted of a crime. Then guess what? Live and let live. People do stupid stuff when they're young. That's how they learn. Sometimes people have to be really bad in order to decide if they don't want to be bad anymore. I was a bad kid. I was so bad. I did so many bad things. people called me trouble, okay? And I feel like my mistakes in my childhood are what made me to be the strong person that I am today. You know, people could say things to me or whatever, and it's like, I don't care. There's only like really one or two people who really know how to ruffle my feathers, and those people are very close family members who I love dearly, and the reason why I let them ruffle my feathers is because I love them. But like strangers, you don't have to like me, I don't have to like you. We can have different opinions. Even if I don't like you, I'm curious as to hear what you think and your thoughts, because I still don't know exactly how I feel about everything, and everything that I thought I knew I didn't. What's up is down and what's down is up. You know, I used to think, oh, I'm a liberal and everybody's equal. Let's take care of everybody else. And people want to come over from the border, sure, no problem. Let's help everyone out. And then I realized that, you know, we have to help people that want to help themselves and people who are good people currently, you know. And if you're coming over the border illegally and you're not willing to follow the rules, and, you know, if you're a legitimate refugee and you're seeking asylum, there are things that you can do to get priority for that and to make sure that you're safe. But a lot of what's being done is not, it's pretty dangerous. And no, I don't want any babies to die. I'm not a fan of babies dying, and I'm not a fan of mothers and kids being separated. And on that same note, I think that if the consequences are severe enough and people knew, and like we started putting out PSAs, that's a local thing, to other countries and saying, hey, if you come, not only can you guys be separated, but like you can die. Don't come here. It's not safe. And then if you do come here, understand that you're going to be used for slave labor and you're going to be treated awful because you're not supposed to be here. And so you're not going to be paid legally. You're not going to be paid fair. Your life's going to be just as bad, if not worse, here than it was there. So do yourself a favor and don't come at all, or come legally. Let's find out who you are and what your intentions are, and, you know, make sure that we're letting people in here that have our country's safety and our country's well-being, you know, a priority. I don't want someone here who doesn't respect America and the things that we do, and they want to come in and break the rules. Coming in here, like, what kind of a citizen are they going to be? Why is it that we should have to pay extra for our car insurance? I live in New Mexico. We have one of the most dangerous states in the nation. We just got bumped to number 2. Dangerous by the FBI. Look it up. And we're next to Mexico. We have the highest, like some of the highest insurance rates because of the uninsured motorist. Accidents every day, car thefts every day, break-ins regularly, homeless people all over the streets. We don't need that. You know, and I'm going to make another video about the ACLU because they're a huge reason why we're having the problems that we have, because the homeless people, we got to give them their rights. Homeless is one thing, but like junkies, we have junkies everywhere. And I feel like lots of resources for the poor, the junkies, you know, the homeless, whatever. We want to help people who want to get help. And great. And we're looking to even build tiny houses. People are being bussed in here. We have a syringe program where they give you syringes, but you don't have to return anything. So there are needles everywhere. I mean, what are we doing here? What kind of people do we want? And back to the Me Too movement really quickly. If men are going to come to the point where they're not going to want to work with women, they're going to go the Mike Pence route, and they're not going to want to hire you because they don't want to have possibly any legal repercussions or anything like that, and they're just going to say no thanks. So your opportunities are going to be screwed up because of the things that are happening. And if, again, I think that if someone like Donald Trump, maybe he did things with Stormy Daniels back in the day before he was president, but at the end of the day, his personal life and who he's sleeping with, I don't care. I don't care who he's sleeping with, okay? I don't care what he's doing in his off time. As long as he's showing up and he's doing the job that he needs to do when he's on the clock, that's what I worry about, okay? I want to know that his decisions and his thoughts about being a president, he's capable of that. You know, like if you're an Uber person, I don't want to know that you like prostitutes or whatever, okay? If you're driving safely and you're not drinking while you're driving and you're following the law, then we're good. I don't need to know about your personal life. I don't need to know about what you're doing, you know, after, if you fart, if you're mean to your dog, if you say bad things about your ex-wife. None of my business, okay? Can you do your job? Can you be professional? That's what's important. Trying to dig up allegations from 30 years ago when someone was a 17-year-old. Are you kidding me? Think about you. What were your actions when you were 17? Did you make perfect decisions? Because I did not, and I think most people didn't. And you know, yeah, I was in high school. I was a student, and I had a boy at a campfire do some pretty scary things or whatever. He kind of got really aggressive with me, and it scared me. I had a crush on him before then, and after I didn't. But like, I hope that if he ever sees these videos for whatever reason, that he doesn't. And I hope that if I ever see him again, I just don't want him to, because I think that guilt and that like awful feeling that you have for something that you did that when you were young and drinking and you regret, I'm sure he regrets it. I hope he doesn't live with that, and like it doesn't like sometimes bug him in that deep dark place where people have that, you know, shame. Because I've forgiven him. I have. And you know, even people from my past, I've forgiven them as well, you know, because holding on to that anger and that hate, it really is, it hurts you more than anybody else, and it's just not good. So if you like Hillary Clinton and you want her, whatever, I'm still going to have respect for you. I'm still going to be nice to you. If you don't think the way that I do, no problem. 90% of the world, 98% of the people don't think like I do, okay? I know I'm original, and I'm interested in people who don't think like me, because that's how we move forward in society. If you think differently, if we're all the same, what fun would that be? Whenever you read comments and everyone's saying the same thing, it's like, wow, this is boring. Boring, you know? But I'm not going to say I hate you because you think differently than me. You're allowed to have your opinions, and you're allowed to not like the same person I like, but to try to ban someone from society because they feel differently or they have different thoughts, rather than finding out why, that's dangerous, I think. And I think that's what we need to work on. So anyway, thanks for watching another video of mine. I appreciate it. I hope you guys have a good night. And ladies, whatever. Fair is fair. I mean, really, if you want to be treated equally, you got to be treated equally, you know. And I don't know. I mean, I guess I can just go with however. I'm not saying like sexual harassment on the job is cool. It's not. But I think that we should learn how to combat those things. Like, we should be taught what we can say and things that we can do and techniques and whatever to neutralize the situation and be safe. Like, I think it's better to be proactive than reactive. Like, why wait for someone to do something to you or why wait to get into a precarious situation before you decide to do something about it? You know, like, let's teach our children and women, you know, hey, if your boss wants to go hang out with you afterwards, make sure the people around, maybe like kind of make a plan. If you go on a date with a guy, best advice ever, make sure your mom or someone else knows the guy's phone number, who you're going with and where, and let the guy know, like, oh yeah, my mom knows, and or whatever, yeah, talk to some people or whatever, they know I'm here, just in case, like, you know, so that you don't go missing and that you're being accounted for, and that you'll call them afterwards or just send them a text, let them know that you're home safely and that you'll talk to them later. But, you know, just precautions to keep you safe, because that's what, you know, I think that's better than, hey, you did something to me way back when. Just saying. Anyway, have a good night. Thank you so much. You're awesome. I have lots to talk about, and hopefully I'll be talking to you soon. Thanks.